This is Adam Barber, just taking a break. I'm working down at a friend's house today. It's not particularly hard work, but I've always been told never stand up when you can sit down, so always take a break when you can. And I wanted to talk to you about a verse that I see posted a lot, and I've used a lot, especially in difficult situations, and that's Philippians 4:13. But it gets taken out of its context a lot. Probably the two things that really cripple a believer more than anything is, number one, not reading the scripture at all, or number two, taking it out of its context. Because when you take scripture out of its context, you can make it say almost anything, and then it's really just dependent on the speaker, whether they're well-spoken or they can deliver the message well enough to kind of twist it to mean whatever they're trying to say to you. In Philippians 4:13, that's one that really gets taken out of its context a lot. It says, for I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. And that one gets used all kinds of ways, so much so that this past Christmas, I bought my soon-to-be mother-in-law a mug that says, I can do all things through a verse taken out of context. Because we take a verse like that says, I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me, and then we kind of tack it on to whatever we're going through in life and just feel, hey, this is about me. This is my word right here. I'm fixing to take this and I'm gonna make it fit, and this is gonna be speaking about whatever I'm going through. But let's look at the verses that are preceding that, because anytime that you're looking at a verse and you don't want to cherry pick your verses out. Just pick one from over here and pick one from over here and kind of mash them all together in some kind of theological Frankenstein to build something together. You want to look at those verses in the context of that chapter, and then look at that chapter in the context of the book that it's in, and then kind of always look at the setting of what's going on, who's speaking, who's being spoken to, all those types of things. And Scripture makes a whole lot more sense that way. But anyway, so let's back up to, we'll just go with 12. We'll start with 12. So we have 13 that says, I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. So what's he talking about? Is he talking about me just overcoming whatever personal difficulty I have right now? Or is he talking about, some kind of struggle that I've got, personally, mentally, emotionally, something like that? Well, let's back up and let's see. So 4:12, it says, I know both how to be abased and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. So Paul is talking about here about being abased and being and how to abound. He's talking about being in respect of want. Not having all of his needs, not having his comforts and things like that. And through those things, through those difficulties, being deprived, or as he often was, shipwrecked, beaten, thrown in jail and things like that, he could endure those things through Christ. But, if he's having an argument with his boss, or, he's still living in a sinful lifestyle, trying to just ride those kind of things out and deal with those consequences, that's not the time to use, I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. If, I saw a post the other day that I thought was hilarious, and it was a husband and wife standing in the kitchen, and the husband was twisting the lid on a pickle jar. And he said, I can do all things through Christ. And she said, it's a pickle jar, Jim. Twist the lid, not scriptures. So don't ever take scripture and then just take that and kind of twist it, chop it, and try to make it say whatever you want to. And instead of, approaching the Bible and looking at things like this and say, what does this mean to me? Rather, take the approach of, what does this mean? And then how does this apply to me? Because first and foremost, if you're just taking it and saying, well, what does this mean to me? Well, then it can mean anything to you, depending on what kind of day you're having or what you heard the week before. But always look at it in its context, and I can guarantee that Scripture is going to make a whole lot more sense. But, like always, don't take my word for that. Study these things out for yourselves, and, think on these things, read up on these things, study them for yourself, and have a good day.